Is judging the ultimate sin? So let's dive into that a little bit today. And this is coming about because some Christian celebrities, a couple, have made some comments that brought this into light. And I'm not going to name names, but if you're in the know, you know. But let's address this. And this actually was brought up by one of my mentors, Mr. Frank Turek, who wrote, I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist. He's still very relevant today. Go check him out. You can find him all over the internet and social media and all the rest. If you're ever curious about why there is a reason to potentially look at Christianity, and does it align with science and logic and history and archaeology? Go check it out, right? He's a brilliant resource. But he brought this up, so giving credit to him as well. But I want to relay this message to my followers is, this what was brought up kind of by this Christian couple was that judging was the ultimate sin, right? And you're going to hear that everywhere in today's culture. Yeah, one of the most misquoted verses in the Bible is "Do not judge." The Bible doesn't say "Do not judge." It's the culture has turned judging into some, if you're automatically some kind of, bigot or misogynist or tyrant on some crusade if you have some kind of something to say, either right or wrong about somebody's maybe their lifestyle or something they're doing or whatever, right? But for the culture, it's turned into this shield against moral discernment, against moral accountability, right? You can't say this is right or wrong. Jesus never told us not to judge. He told us to judge rightly. We're told that in John 7. We're told to take the plank out of our own eye so we can clearly see to help our brother with the speck in his eye. So if we really love people, we have to make moral discernments. We have to make judgments against right and wrong. You still love the person, but love without truth isn't love, it's indifference, and that's a form of hate. Now, there's an author, she's a brilliant Christian author, Natasha Crane. All right, so give credit out to her. She brings up 4 points, truths about secularism that are actually lies. All right, and you're going to see this thought process, these four thought processes, very clearly in today's culture. I'm just going to read them out to you. Number one, feelings are our ultimate guide. Sound familiar? Right? How I feel is my truth, your truth. How I feel is how I feel. And number two, happiness is the ultimate goal in life. Number three, judging is the ultimate sin. And number four, God is the ultimate guess. So let's be honest. These slogans, we all see them around in culture. Now, they do sound compassionate somewhat, but they're actually very destructive. Because if you think about it, if feelings are our guide, whose feelings win? Hitler's or Mother Teresa's? How do you judge the difference? If happiness is our goal, what happens when the pursuit of my happiness harms someone else? Now, if judging is the ultimate sin, then even saying you can't judge, that's judging me, right? You're bad for judging. Well, you're judging me for judging. You have circular reasoning there, right? And if God is just a guess, is God there? Maybe he is, maybe he isn't, who knows, right? Then where does your reason for morality come from? I've talked about that in the past, the moral law argument. If we all know it's wrong to torture babies for fun, where do we get that from? You can't say the culture, because there's been many cultures where that was okay. So there has to be a law that's written on all of our hearts outside of ourselves. And if there is a moral law that we all know it's wrong to murder and rape and pillage and things like that, there has to be a moral lawgiver. And so the problem is Christians and even these Christian celebrities, they often absorb these kind of ideas without realizing it. When this couple became wildly successful, I'm sure the pressure was enormous for them to affirm every cultural trend and be labeled loving, right? And sometimes we do see these kind of high profile Christians kind of backing up, right? They're backing up from clear biblical truth. That sola scriptura, right? Getting back, that only scripture. What does the scripture say? So this they've bought into this lie that judging, meaning moral discernment, is always wrong, no matter what. But it's not. It's necessary. In fact, it's commanded. Now, I'm not picking on this particular couple. I'm not going to name names. They're just an example of what happens when believers think silence equals love. But silence in the face of falsehood is not love. It's surrender. Jesus loved people enough to call out that sin and call what was sin a sin and to offer forgiveness and to show them a better way. And we are called to do the same thing. So here's my challenge to you, and I'm going to wrap this up. Don't buy the cultural lie that judging is unloving. Yes, judging self-righteously is wrong, absolutely. But judging truthfully in an act of love, remembering, Natasha Crane's list above, feeling, happiness, judging, and God, and recognize these for what they are. They're secular slogans. You need to ground your thinking in scripture, not culture. That's such a huge problem today. If we would ground our thinking in scripture and not what the culture says, and when you see these public figures or these celebrities that are wavering, pray for them. They're under intense pressure that most of us can't even understand. But don't let silence be your model. We already have a model. What is that? Our model is Christ. He was full of grace and he was full of truth. Grace and truth. That's our calling. And it's the only antidote to the lies of secularism that are rampant today. All right. So love and appreciate you for watching. Thanks so much. God bless, and I will see you back next time.